So we're talking about, again, AI and the web. I'm going to show you a research that we conducted with the ICT regarding lone wolves and far-right, alt-right activists. So we're starting with the problem. Dealing with a huge amount of account, it's a matter of scope and scale. 3.5 more times population on the web than the real world. So we all know the structure of the iceberg and the amount of data that there is. At Cobwebs, our solutions goes all the layers, through all the layers of the web, through the dark, deep, and the open web in a matter of seconds. Search, monitor, analyze, and give the product. So we're going to talk about the butterfly effect, as we call it. Again, it's new research that we are conducting with the ICT. So we'll take you back to Norway 2011 when it all starts. The first case, as you can see, started to structure, takes us to the first offenders in Norway that actually publishes manifests online and became not a lone wolf, as a well-structured mini organization, as we call it. You can see it's a worldwide, global activities being the motivate to others worldwide through the US, New Zealand, and retribution in Sri Lanka and in Utrecht. Well, it's all connected. Now, prepare to the next slide. It's much more mass, but as we can see here through the lines, we see the connections between those entities. We see the people who were supported by, wrote his, for example, the Christchurch offenders in New Zealand wrote on his clipper, on his magazine, names of previous offenders. Others were chatting in the gaming chat rooms. Others was published their manifest and saying they were supported by others in 8chan, 4chan, and others. So they are all being connected. The world is flat through the web, and this phenomenon is amazing and disturbing. For example, the manifest of Meidan Brandt in Christchurch was translated to 15 different languages. The Norway offender also to 7 or 8 different languages. They're getting much more popularity as we go on. So we took those cases and we did a reverse engineering trying to understand the methodology behind it by using the web. So at first stage, we saw them uploading the manifest to smaller platforms as Mega, 4chan, 8chan, and others. Later on, they're sending beacon to the mainstream platforms as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and many others. We also saw them live broadcasting on Facebook, as I mentioned the cases of Christchurch in New Zealand, and they also been tried by San Diego, Texas last shooting. And what's being after, the content is being shared across the web, through all the platforms, being published again and again and again, and you can't just take it out. So our assumption, maybe they can be prevented. How? First stage is what we call the golden hour. The golden hour is not basically a real hour. It's a matter of minutes or seconds. What happens during this, What happens during the, I don't know what's not running, but it's a countdown. And what we can see, the manifests are going spread and all over through the web. And it's being, it's running. So in the first minutes, when it goes, networks and social media trying to take down those publicities, trying to fight and find and taking them down. Because what happens after a few seconds, it's impossible to find the real offenders, the real leads through the web, because it's being filled with fake accounts and other tweets and many comments. So the work of an analyst, Intel analyst trying to find this needle in a haystack is being impossible. The other approach is much more psychological, and I want to present it to you. So we took the ingredients of motivation and triggers built from ideal, personal, and psychological. Okay, so try to imagine a group of people standing just below on the dark part of the screen, and those building blocks are fitting those entities with those triggers, hate, and everything that can affect them. And basically what happens is they're being filled to a point that these guys are taking the rifle and going to conduct the shooting. So what we are trying to do is to identify those triggers, trying to identify those sentiments and the behaviorals that feed those offenders by using our technology. So taking all of that and targeting this group or entity with positive, with the just opposite of hatred, like Nike approach. It's much more a marketing approach, taking my positive sentiments and sends and targeting the target, shifting him to a much calmer and not aggressive area. So we're taking all the AI capabilities that were mentioned and running an analysis on sentiments, on those forums, on channels, on groups, on social media, whatever our leads in. As you can see on the red, our sentiments are live in those forums, being presented and analyzed in an area, a city, a quarter, a region, or many other options. And finding those channels, finding the group, finding the identity, analyzing it, studying it, using social engineering capabilities, and basically trying to make the web a safer place by using technology. That's it.
Thank you.